A week ago, we were like looking for explanations. That's in the past as far as the Aztec basketball team is concerned. Back-to-back blowout victories against the Air Force Academy. Coach Dave Velasquez is joining us right now. So, Coach, take us behind the scenes of this team coming off the back-to-back losses against Utah State and preparation for these Air Force games, because certainly offensively, we saw a much different team. So what was going on to ignite this Aztecs offense?
To me, it starts with preparation. This is the first time we had played a matchup zone, especially this type of matchup zone in years. So obviously our new players had never seen it. Jordan Shackle, Adam Seiko had never played against it. We spent 4 days getting ready for the matchup zone that they play. We basically put in a whole new style of offense with different types of cuts and movement, and we just really drilled it. We drilled it in the morning in our individual workouts. We drilled it at practice. We showed a lot of film. We showed a lot of film from practice. I thought our scout team did a great job defending how Air Force is going to defend. So when we got to the game, we had so much confidence in what we were about to do. And if you guys want to remember that Utah State offensively was about confidence, was about swagger, was about playing with that mentality. Hey, let's reward ourselves when we get all these stops. Let's go down on offense. Let's reward ourselves. I thought we did a fantastic job, really, for 80 minutes of basketball out here at Air Force, and we're excited to get back to San Diego.
Hey, Coach, now you guys said the preparation obviously is there, and Coach Dutcher said probably you won't face another team with that same zone playbook. So what's the preparation for Wyoming? If you got prepared for the Falcons the way you did, you sort of have to change your game plan with what Dutch said last night. You probably won't face another team like you did with the Falcons.
You know what? The number one thing for us is kind of to retool our guys' mind. And I think our guys, I think we have to give a lot of credit to how they watch film, how they prepare. And I've been saying this a long time with this team. This team is incredibly coachable, almost too coachable at times. And so now moving towards Wyoming, we have to find the holes in Wyoming's defense. We have to figure out Wyoming statistically is not the greatest defensive team. How can we take advantage of that? Where is Jordan Shackle going to get all those threes? How can we get Adam Seiko to go 7 for 9 in the 2 games against Wyoming like he did against Air Force? How are we going to get guys like a Rope and Joshua easy with touches around the bit rim? I thought everybody who played had a great sense of, okay, where am I going to get my shot? And then when they get their shot or they get their attempt, their angle to drive the ball, they had a mentality that they were either going to score or make the right play. And I just thought it was a fantastic 2 games that we can really build off going towards Wyoming, no matter how they guard us or what the defense is going to present to us. If we prepare like we did for the last 2 games, and again, we're going to continue to grow our offense, and defensively, we have to continue to get better. But if our offense can start to reach where our defense is, we can have a really special team again this year.
I've asked you this a couple of times, Coach, about the fact that the box scores look so dramatically different almost game to game. Now, this last couple of games look pretty consistent, obviously 90-plus points. And, this is a team effort. We don't have just one guy like Malachi Flynn to bail the team out. But as we move forward right now, 10 games remaining now on this conference schedule before we get to the conference tournament, do you think it's important now that we can get some level of consistency? Obviously, Jordan had back-to-back good games, but Terrell Gomez, the first game, not much. Last game, 5 threes drop in. Is it important at this point of the season to get a little more consistency from your players offensively?
Yes. However, again, with Jordan Shackle, he was able to shoot 19 threes. I'm not worried about how many he made. I think he made 9 out of those 19 threes. Jordan Shackle, if we played Utah State 100 times, there would be never 2 games where they let him get off 19 threes. So for Jordan, let's just use him as an example. It'll be hard for him to consistently get up that many 3-point shots because of the way the defense plays him. Now, what it does is it opens up opportunities for others when they're sitting there in what we call face guard, where they're literally like a puppy dog on Jordan, not leaving him, not helping off him. And what that does is that creates a lot of space for others to drive. So when it comes to production, and would we like to see more consistency? Absolutely. But the one special thing about this team, and I don't want to get it twisted, we don't have any selfish players. So we don't have a guy who's out there hunting his shot every single possession. I always think back to Matt Mitchell's game where I believe he has, 35 against BYU. In the next game versus St. Mary's, he plays an awesome game, but statistically, he didn't play very well. He only takes, I believe, 5 shots in the game. Well, he only took 5 shots because St. Mary's entire game plan was don't let Matt Mitchell have 35 points. So now moving forward, I'm sure Wyoming is going to see Jordan Shackle and Gomez and Seiko. And those shots that they got, those rhythm threes in the half court, it's going to be hard for them to get off. So at that point, like I said, it will open up opportunities for others. But yes, as a coach, you would like to see more consistent production out of our guys. However, can't take for granted how unselfish, how team-oriented these guys are to just make the right play every possession.
And, Coach, that consistency obviously was there over the last couple of games. And to me, what I saw in the last couple of games is when you guys can distribute the ball the way you did, to me, that's a team that's playing loose. And to me, that's a good sign to have the team back to that style of basketball. Would you agree?
I tell the greatest best idea in the country, Mike, made this all the time. I love talking to you guys because you guys really understand and watch our games. That is an absolutely spot on point. Is when our guys are loose and they're playing free and they're moving that ball quick and they're keeping it hot, and you could just tell. There's just a certain energy and confidence about them that it just permeates throughout the entire team, and our team is really good when we're playing like that. I mean, we saw it early in the season. We've seen it, games like against St. Mary's. We've seen it a few times, even those Colorado State games. I mean, we're getting out to these huge leads. I mean, we're just out there. We're playing loose. We're playing free. We're having fun playing basketball, and that is exactly how we want to play moving forward.
We look at the schedule. It's hard to believe we're already halfway through this conference schedule right now. How surprised were you of Wyoming sweeping 2 from Nevada?
You know what? We haven't had a chance to watch a lot of Wyoming. We watched them against Air Force, and now watching them now, the number one thing about Wyoming that they do is they really, really can score. They have a great coach in Coach Jeff Linder, who used to be at Boise State, so we're incredibly familiar with him. And, they do a great job on both ends of the floor on trying to take advantage of whatever the other team is doing. And, again, defensively, statistically, they're not what he would probably say up to par. But if you watch the game, they're always in a stance. They're always communicating. He's already starting to build a great culture over there. So, yeah, I mean, to say I'm surprised that they won 2, no. You guys know what it's like for us when we go to Laramie. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. If you have to play 2 games back-to-back in Laramie. I mean, you saw the oxygen tanks that we had at Air Force last night. I mean, it's hard to win in Laramie, and he's got a good team, and he's got an absolutely sensational freshman in Marcus Williams. You guys will be blown away at how good this freshman, who actually signed with Coach Linder to go to Northern Colorado, he got the Wyoming job, he brought him with him. He is an absolutely stunning freshman. He's 4th in the country for all the freshmen scoring. He's a very good player.
All right, let's talk about Matt Mitchell. Great to see him back out on the court, obviously. Tell us the decision to put him back in, and what do we now expect in this back-to-back against Wyoming? How much are we going to see Matt Mitchell?
Well, we hope to see him a lot, but that's all going to be depending on Matt Mitchell, how his knee kind of, we say recovers from yesterday or reacts to yesterday. We were overly cautious, guys. I mean, Matt Mitchell was actually cleared by 3 doctors on Wednesday of last week. But Matt being smart, us wanting to make sure that Matt felt comfortable, Matt Mitchell made the decision to play on Sunday. He wanted to get out there. He worked them out he practiced Thursday for a little bit. Friday, he had his own individual workout on game day. Saturday, he practiced with the team. Sunday, he did shoot-arounds. He felt great. He said, let's go. And our trainer, Sergio, said, it would be a great kind of rehab session for him to get 10 to 15 minutes. And Matt was just begging Sergio to play. So it actually worked out great. He played 14 minutes. I mean, his value, it's no need to be said. Matt Mitchell is an unbelievable player. He brings so much value to us on both ends of the floor. He gets 10 points, 7 rebounds, and plays 14 minutes last night. And he's just so good. He's such a presence out there. And then, to be honest, I mean, Matt's as good of a leader that I can remember that we've had at San Diego State. I mean, he was unbelievable coaching behind the scenes this week of practice, unbelievable coaching during film sessions. He was awesome on the bench on Friday. And then even on yesterday when he's playing, he's still the guy. He's huddling them up with about 3.5 minutes to go on trying to tell our guys, those freshmen and the walk-ons that are in the game, let's keep this lead. This lead matters, with all those numbers that we have now. And Matt Mitchell's the guy that's sending that message, and I think it's so important. And, again, we don't take it for granted on who Matt is and what Matt has now become, which is this incredible young man and a great leader.
Back-to-back 30-point-plus victories against the Air Force Academy. Wyoming is next up on the schedule. Coach, congratulations on the wins. Let's get everybody healthy. Let's get everybody rolling right now. We need a big winning streak heading into, especially we got those Boise games right at the tail end of the regular season. But we'll focus on Wyoming, knock these games out, and get a winning streak going with the Aztecs. Coach, we always appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys for having me. Let's get this win on Thursday and go Aztecs.
There you go.
Aztecs.
Dave
Thanks,
Velasquez
Coach.
joining right there.